Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I'm going to be having a go at a puzzle that Matt Tressel sent to us some time ago. I think we put it on a list of might try, and it certainly hadn't been rejected. And then Juggler wrote to us a couple of weeks ago saying, must try. So that's a recommendation that we're going to listen to. Not that we wouldn't listen to anybody's recommendation, but we listen extra hard when somebody as smart as Juggler says something is really clever. This is Matt Tressel's Kill or Quads, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting idea. Every circle in the grid has an optional interpretation, one of two options. We'll look at that in a moment. On Patreon, of course, there's all the extra content that goes with Patreon. Our monthly rewards, solve videos on that. There's crosswords, connections, longer Sudoku solves, and extra packs and things. Do check it out. There's always some quality content there. And, of course, loads of quality content in our apps, which feature all sorts of Sudoku. Killer Sudoku is the one most relevant for today, and not very relevant, but there are nine types, 11 actual apps. Do check out the list, you'll enjoy them. Sven SUDOKU PAD's excellent, and our merchandise is top quality. We are working on a shirt saying I'm definitely one of Simon's favourite people, or something like that, and we're looking forward to bringing that to you, but it's not available yet. It will be soon. Right, let's have a look at Kill or Quads, and the rules to this puzzle say normal Sudoku rules apply. So 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Each marked circle is either a killer quad or a normal quadruple, with each to be determined by the solver. And the definitions of those: in a killer quad, digits surrounding a circle must sum to the indicated total. So these 4 blue digits would add up to 14. Alternatively, if it's a quadruple, the digits shown in the circle, we now consider them as a 1 and a 4 separately, must appear in these blue cells at least once each. Okay, well, it can't be more than once in this puzzle, I can see that. Give it a try, because this is a really interesting rule set. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Right, none of these are impossible totals, which is a shame, because that would have been a place to start. This isn't even an impossible collection. Yes, it is. Is it? No, this isn't an impossible collection of cells. Like, I was wondering if we can say that clearly both of these aren't killer clues. But you may, if you were one of my favourite people, I would tell you the secret. And you are, so I'm going to. Every row, column and box in a Sudoku adds up to the same number. We know the number already. It's 45, because that's the sum of the digits from 1 to 9. So if box 2 adds up to 45, but these cells, counting that one twice, add up to 51, is that possible? There's a difference of 6. But this might be a 9, in which case those would add up to 18. These would add up to 15. That's 33. That would be a 9, 42. And this would be a 2-1 pair. That is possible. So I think 51 is the total amongst 2 circles. That is a marker, the maximum. Given how these 2 circles are placed within boxes, there's always one overlapping cell. There are 3 14s. There's 3 27s in the top 2 rows. There are 3 14s in this column. Now, right. Okay, I've got a very good idea here. So, obviously, it's possible for these 3 to all be the same type. Now, they can't all be quadruples, because that would require 3 1s and 3 4s in columns 2 and 3, and there can only be 2 of each in those columns. Now, if 2 of them were quadruples, let's say those 2 were quadruples. 1 and 4 would be in those 2 coloured areas. highlighted areas. That would remove 1 and 4 as a possibility from any of these cells by Sudoku. 1 and 4 would be in that group of cells. Now, what does that do to a 14 sum? It makes it impossible. You can take a 1 out of a 14 sum, but then it has to be 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm bearing in mind these digits all have to be different. But 4 is included in 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you take 1 and 4 out, you can't make up a 14 sum. What that has now told me is that you can't have 2 of these areas being quadruples. I'm reluctant to believe that all 3 can be killers, but I'm not certain about that. How could they all be killers? What you'd have to have, I'm just going to aid memoir. I mean, this may be unnecessary, I don't know. I'm just going to aid memoir the digits with which one could make up a 14 cage. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 4, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. And 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't believe there are any others. There are those 5. Now, could we mash up 3 of those without using any digit more than twice? We would have to, by taking 2 of these, which would be necessary, we would definitely be using the 2, 3, 4, 5 one. Then you'd have to find one that didn't use a 2, otherwise you'd be repeating a 2 3 times. So it'd be using 1, 3, 4, 6. Now you'd have to find one that didn't use 3 or 4. My goodness, yes you can. 1, 2, 5, 6. Okay, that's really annoying, because now I know that either 2 or 3 of these are killer cages. I don't know that it's only 1. Sorry, that either 2 or 3, yeah, that is right. We've got the same situation. Okay, that hasn't really taught me anything, but what I did learn is that 2 of these can't be quadruples. 1 could be, I believe, although actually that's quite interesting. Let's say one of these was a quadruple and had 1 and 4 on it. Then at least one of these would have to not have a 1 in, one of the other 2. It would have to be a 2, 3, 4, 5 killer. So if there is a quadruple, there is a 2, 3, 4, 5 killer. There can never be 2 of the same killers with the same 4 digits in, or that creates an X-wing anomaly. If you put 2, 3, 4, 5 in both of those, you have to fit 2, 3, 4 and 5 into that 3-cell region. That doesn't work. So you can never have 2 of the same set of digits. So if there was a 1, 4 quadruple, one of these would be 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'd have used up both 4s, and this one would have to be either 1, 2, 3, 8 or 1, 2, 5, 6. And I think as I just worked out, it couldn't be the one with a 3 in, because that would repeat all the 3s. So this, oh no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't, because the 1, 4 quadruple, this is hard. The 1, 4 quadruple cage would not have to have a 3 in it. Crikey, I don't really know what's going on then. Let's have a look at these 27s. Because I've been planning to do that for a while and not getting very far. Now again, they can't all be quadruples, or that would be too many 2s and 7s in use. Oh, and 27 overlapping with 14. 9, 8, 7, the minimum digit you can have is a 3. The maximum digit you can have in a 14 cage is an 8. I don't know. Oh, we've got 2 12s. Oh, you numpty. That's where to start. Done all that thinking. Let's hope some of that earlier thinking pays off. 7 minutes in, and I've just spotted it's the 2 12s that we start with. And look, we've got 12s here and here as well. Right, the exciting thing about 12s is, whether it's 12 or whether it's 1, 2, it's going to involve the digits 1 and 2. Because if you make up 12 in 4 different digits, it's either 1, 2, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 4, 5. So in all of these areas, 1 and 2 do appear. Now, that means there's all sorts of X-wings, and the 1 and 2 in rows 6, 9, and in columns 3 and 9 are definitely fixed within these areas. Now, there we go. This is now... Okay, let's get rid of the colouring, because now I want to sort of use colours to indicate types of circle. This one doesn't have a 2 in, so therefore it's a killer cage. What is the best colour for killer? Purple. Purple killers. And this is doing its job without a 1 or a 2, very unsurprisingly, in a 26 cage. Now, where else can we go with this information? We've got a 1 and a 2. Only one of these cells could possibly be a 1. What does that mean? What are we doing with that information? Oh, here's another killer cage that doesn't have a 2 in it, obviously. And this is at least 9873. It's got to have a 9 in it to be a 27 cage. That, I was going to say, got to have a 9 in it too, but that's not necessarily true, because it could be a quadruple cage with a 2 and a 7 in it. In fact, that's really relatively likely. Come on, let's just do something. A 13 cage always has to have a 1 in it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. A 13 cage has to have a 1. We looked at, if you were 2, 3, 4, 5 in a cage, that would add up to 14. So to go less than that, we need a 1. And whether these are quadruples or killers, they've always got a 1 in. So that is a 1. Look, that is an overlap in this box. Now, well, we've either got a 3 here by quadruple rules, or if this is a killer cage, doesn't it still need a 3, given that it can't have a 2? 1, 4, 5, 6 would be too many. Yes, there is a 3 there. And now this, oh, I don't know, it can't add up to, well, it could be 1, 2, 4, 5 if it was a killer. Oh, 1 there. Let's just do some Sudoku. We can't have a 1 there. We do have a 1 there. We can't have a 1 here. We do have a 1 there. Gosh, it's taking a while to think about this properly. This cage cannot have a 1 in it now. So it is a killer. It's a 14 killer cage without a 1. And it's 2, 3, 4, 5. So that digit is a 2. Here we go. This is clever, isn't it? Now, there's no way for this to be a 12 killer cage now. So it's a quadruple cage, which are yellow, apparently. And it's got a 1 in it. That's fine. Now, there's got to be a 1 in in this circle, so that's not a 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Now, these, well, all I was going to say is these. Ah, we've got a 3 X-wing. There we go. That's going to keep 3 out of this region and make it a killer region. Extraordinarily. Well, it doesn't have a 9 in. It could avoid having a 2 in. There could be a 2 there. No, it doesn't have a 3 in, so now it can't avoid having a 2 in. The 3 X-wing has put a 3 in one of these cells, so this doesn't have a 3 in it, and it does add up to 13. And it must be 1, 2, 4, 6. It must be. That's all it can be. Brilliant. So that's the 1, 2 pair. This is a good puzzle. That's the 4, 6 pair. Now, these either add up to 23, which they can't do, because they would be 9, 8, 6 if that was a 4, but that would have a 6 there as well. So that's a 6. And these add up to 21. And they've got a 9 in. They don't have a 3 in now. Good. They are 9, 8, 5, because we can't use the 6. No, that adds up to 22. They are 9, 7, 5. The 3 couldn't be in it, and we couldn't just do the maths to make that one an 8. Okay, here we go. So, that's not a 2 by Sudoku now. We don't really need to do anything else in this box. They could both be quadruple clues and they're fulfilled. It doesn't even, in a way, it doesn't even matter if they happen to add up to 12 and 13. This box is done. In fact, okay, I'm going to use yellow as either quadruple or quadruple and killer. The rules didn't say you couldn't be both, I reckon. So we're basically finished with the rules down here. So there may be Sudoku we can do, but we're finished with the rules. That can't be a 4. I don't think there is much else. So let's move this up. Now we've had a 2, 3, 4, 5 in these cells, in these 14s. Oh no, maybe it's the 1, 2. I don't know. There's a 1 and a 2 there. Right, for this to be a 2, 3 killer, that would have to be 2. For it to be a 23... No, for it to be a 2, 3 quadruple, that would have to be 2. I don't know. I don't know what to think about there. How about this, 15? No, I'm scared to think about that too. Or 1 and 5. This 40, oh gosh, I don't know. Have we run out of 12s? No, we haven't. We've still got these 12s to think about. They needed a 1 and a 2 in. That's what's put 1 and 2 into this region and made this a killer. This could be 8, 7, 6, 5, but then 7, 6, 5 would be a triple X-winged group that would go in here. And that, actually, that would make it impossible to fill this. So if this was 8, 7, 6, 5 in box 5, 7, 6 and 5 would all go there. The 27 cage could now only have 9, 8, 4, 3 at a maximum, which doesn't get it to 27. It couldn't even have a 7 in because of 7 being out here, so it couldn't be a quadruple clue. So this cage cannot be 8, 7, 6, 5, so it has a 9 in it. And then I X-wing a 9 with that group and put it up here because we've used up the 9s in columns 4 and 5. Now this 27 or 2-7 cage cannot have a 9 in it and it can't be a killer. So it must be a, I keep wanting to call it a look and say cage, but a quadruple cage with a 2 and a 7 in it. Now there's a 7 X-wing and 7's in one of these cells and not in this 26 killer cage. That's probably helpful. Now you can't go 9, 6, 5, 4. You can't miss 8 as well because you would only add up to 24. So there is an 8 in this cage, which is on the right hand side of it. That means one of these is an 8. 17, and then we've got to add up to another 9 using either 6, 3 or 5, 4. Now that's going to use either 6 or 5, which will be the third X-winged item, and therefore 6 or 5 is one of these. I don't know if that's really doing it. Maybe it's going to inform this 24 cage. I don't know. This is either 9863 or 9854. It doesn't have 7, 1 or 2 in it, as we've pencil marked, basically. Okay. Alrighty, alrighty. I don't know what to do. Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Let's move on to this 15 cage. Do I know what to do? These digits are not 9, 8, 3 or 4. They're from 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't know. That's not what to do next. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. These digits are from 6, 7, 8, 9. I could do this sort of marking. It's a bit weird though. No, I don't know. Okay, the 14 cage here. This cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5 as a killer. So it must have a 1 in it if it's a killer, and it must have a 1 in it if it's a quadruple. So one of those is a 1 and that isn't. Now, I can't quite make the same claim about this 14 cage. If it was a killer, it could avoid having a 1 in it and be 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. They can't, well, they can't both be quadruples, because 1 and 4 would be in them both, and those digits would have to be 1 and 4, and we're never, oh, that's all right, that's a quadruple cage, there's no problem with that. Okay, they could be. Right. Right. Oh, goodness. We've had a quadruple up here. That one doesn't have a 2 in it, does it? That's been available for ages. So that's a killer. Nor does this one. Same deal. Good Lord. Right, they've both got 9s in by killer maths. And that's meaning 9 is in one of these 3 cells, which is also in one of these 3. It's in the overlap here. Okay, good. As though that's good for anything else. It's not good for anything else, but it's good for these. Right, they can't be made up of the same combination. What are the 27 combinations? 9873, 9864. They won't work. We've got an 8 here. So there is one other, 9765. One of these two that I've got highlighted is 9765 to avoid having to put an 8 here because I'm not allowed to. They can't both be 98 something something sets. So one of them is 9765. I don't know how to pencil mark that. The other one can't be 9765 and either does use an 8 and is 9873. No, it can't be 9873 because whichever one is 9765 will X-wing a 7 with this region. That's bizarre. So one of these is 9873 and the other is 9864 to avoid using the 7. No, it's not. No, it's not. One of them is 9765. I'm literally just going to aid memoir those here. One of them is 9765 and the other is 964. So they're going to X-wing a 6 between them and that takes 6 out of these cells and makes them a 5-8 pair. Extraordinary. So one, I don't know how to do this. One of them is 9765. They've both got 6s in. I can do that. And then one of them is finished with 7-5 and the other one with 4-8. And that's also going to be a 5 X-wing with there and a 7 X-wing with here, but that rather depends on which one is which, and I don't know the answer. Right, now this one, oh no, it's just a quadruple cage. It's not a killer, so getting 5, 8, 9 there doesn't help. This is 1, 3, or 4. Oh, but this 24, this could be a 2, 4 quadruple if they're both in column 5. Can it possibly be a killer cage? 9, yeah, it can easily. You can easily make those add to 15. Well, I say easily. I think there are a number of possibilities. I don't know. I think there are. Okay. This group has to have a 1 in it because it can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, the only way to fulfill a 14. So it's either a killer with a 1 in it or a quadruple with a 1 in it. So that is the 1 there. That's very clear and that's been available for some time. That gives me a 1 here. That means, oh, I knew one of those was 1 apparently. Ah, it means I'm placing 1 in box 6. Right, that's not in this cage. Is that interesting? No, I don't think it is. Never mind. This I'm going to make yellow because I know there's a 2 in it. Basically, I can do the same with that. Remember, I've designated yellow as either quadruple or both quadruple and killer, and it just doesn't matter. Right, this one. I don't know. This one I don't know. Is it worth thinking about if those were both 1-4 quadruples? We'd have to put 1-4 here in row 1. That would be 2-7. This would be 3-6. Can we make this work? It wouldn't work as a 2-4 quadruple. Could it work as a killer with 3 there? That would be 12. No, 8. We wouldn't be allowed another 4. 12, 5, 7. Yes, we could. Bother. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. It's hard to juggle these numbers. It really is in your head. It's not easy. Right. One of these pairs had an 8-4 and one had a 5-7. Is there something interesting about none of those involving the number 3? I don't think there is, actually. Okay, there is. Yes, there is. Well, no, there isn't. There are 2 3s in these 2 rows, and I think only one of them can be in box 2. So of these dominoes, either 1 or 2 has a 3 in. Well, it can't be both, because that would push the 3s in boxes 9 and 7 both into row 9. That's weird. Okay, so these can't both have 3s in, so one does and one doesn't, and now this group of cells has to have a 3 in it. Isn't that strange? I'm calling it a group of cells because it's just a quadruple clue. But now that's got a 3 in it, and one of these dominoes has a 3 in it and is pushing one of these into becoming a 3, so that's not a 3. These are weird deductions. Right, this is a killer, and it doesn't have a 6. 17 and another 9, 6, 3 or 5, 4. Right, there is a 6 in one of these cells by Sudoku. So this is not 9863. This is 9854. Oops, I've lost the colour there with my energetic D pencil marking. That's 9854. So there's a 3 in one of these cells. That feels exciting. It's new information. There's a 6 in one of these cells. 1, 2, 3, 7, 6. Yes, 1, 2, 3 are in this group. Wow, so this is a 6-7 pair. I don't really know how that happened, but it just did. So this is a 1, 2, 3 set. Now, that's going to mean, I thought it was going to mean that this is not a 2, 3 quadruple, but it doesn't mean that, because 2 could be there and 3 could be there. Does it mean anything else? Probably doesn't. Fair enough. But this came down to 1 or 4. Is that good? No, it's not. Still pondering this weird, I bet somebody like Juggler can think about this puzzle in a useful way, whereas I'm flanneling around trying to get a grip on what's going on. Now, it'd be very easy to put a 4. Only one of these can have a 4 in it. So one of them is a quadruple clue. No. So one of them is a killer clue. That's the better conclusion. Only one of them can have a 4 in it. The other one is a killer cage without a 4 in it. So 1, 2, 3, 8 is possible, or 1, 2, 5, 6. This one, it cannot be that one because it can't have a 2 in it. So this is the killer. And it's, well, This is a killer at least. This is the one that doesn't have the 4 in it, because it's got to be the killer and it's got to have the 2 in it. So that's now a 1-2 pair. I mean, I hope these conclusions are right. They do feel teeny bit shaky from time to time. These add up to 11 without using 2. There's a variety of ways to do that. 3, 8, 4, 7 or 5, 6. But this doesn't have a 2 in it. Can it be 1, 3, 4, 5 as a 14 cage, as a killer cage? No, because 3, 4, 5 would break that group of 4 cells. So this is a quadruple with a 4 in it somewhere. That 4 is, X-winged with the 4 there. That means one of these cells is a 4. So this pair is not 4, 7. It's either 3, 8 or 5, 6. That can't be a 9. Hasn't been able to be for a little while. We've got a 1, 2 cage there. We've got a 2 in this one. We've got a 1, 2, 3 triple here. Now, what did we say about this? Just that it needs a 4 in it. So that's not that good. There's a 1, 2 here. There's definitely a 1. Oh no, this could be the 2, 3, 4, 5 killer possibility. Oh, rats. What about that? If that was a 1, well, if that was a 1, this would have to be 2, 3, 4, 5 to make itself up at all. And then you'd have a 2 X-wing, which is fine. Oh, here, no, 1 and 4. I was wondering if there's too many 1 and 4s, if this is not a killer. No, I don't think there is. So, got to go back to something else. We've got a 4 in one of those. This is fulfilled, basically. This one adds up to 15, or has a 1 and a 5 in it. Well, this can't be 8 or 9, because if it's got a 1 or a 5 in it, the 5 has to be 1 and a 5 in it. The 5 has to be here. If this is 8 or 9, the cage adds up to at least 17. So that's 4 or 5. That's a triple now, including a 9 in one of those cells. This makes this an 8. The 9 in one of those cells places 9 down here. That means there's a 5, 7 pair looking at those which don't have a 5 in, and 5 goes here. And now, well, I'm going to put a 1 in this cage, and I'm going to call it yellow, because even if that's 6, this would be a 1, 3 pair. If that's 7, this is a 1, 2 pair. Whether this is killer or not, there's always a 1 in it now. So that's not a 1. And up this column, we have 8, 5, 7, 4, 9. So these cells are from 1, 2, 3, 6, and they include a 1 for definite. And that doesn't include a 1. That is now a 4. That's not a 4. Now there is a 4 in the 27 cage, which is a counting cage. So this is 4, 6, 8, 9 now. It's a killer cage, so we are counting the digits. And that one can't be a 4 for some reason. That's an X-wing that we did earlier. Okay, so that's those from 4, 6, 8, 9, as is that cell. And, oh no, but we had, yeah, this is great. This is great. That one couldn't be a 4. That's what I was saying. That's 4, 6, 8, 9. This can't be 6 or 8. In fact, the other cells in the box are from 3, 5, 7. Now, there's a 6 X-wing formed with that and that group. And that means this is a 6. And these aren't. 4, 6, 4, 9, 5, 8. This group is 1, 2, 3, and 7. And we've got a 7 looking up from there. That makes a 1, 2, 3, 7 set. Okay, there we go. That's tidied up the pencil marking. One of these must be a 1 in this column, so there's no 1 in those cells. Right. Now, 4 has got ruled out here. 8 is somewhere here. That's been X-winged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. That can't be a 9 anymore. The 9 in this box is in one of those two, and therefore not in one of those two. And that is now a 9 in that killer cage. So neither of those are a 9. And there's a 9 in one of these 3 cells, which is not constrained by the quadruple clue. So much Sudoku to do still in this puzzle. Right, there's a 3, we know that. There's a 2 up here, that's a 1, 2 pair. Might be time to start colouring 1s and 2s shortly, don't know about that yet. 2s, this, I mean, I suppose I haven't coloured. This one I haven't coloured. If it's a 2-4 cage, that's a 2. If it's a 2-4 quadruple. If it's a 24 killer, these add up to 11, and that's 8, and that's 3. So this is either 2 or 3. If it's 3, it makes that 8. Not as powerful an injunction as I was hoping for in a way. Now those cells can't include 4. We know that at this stage. Oh, these have to add to 27, and they include 9 and 6, and 5 and 7 now, because they don't have 8 in. That's right. Yeah, that's 9, 7, 6, 5. This was what I couldn't pencil mark earlier, isn't it? So that's 9, 7, 6, 5. So 4 is now in one of those cells. This is a 1, 2, 4 triple. This is a 3, 8 pair. And those two, they could still allow this to be a killer cage. That's irritating. But we've got 4 in one of those 2 cells. Does that do anything down below? Don't think so. The 3, 8 pair does over here. That makes that 5 and that 7. Places 3 here, which takes it out of those cells. 5 and 7 here stops that being a 7, stops that being a 5. One of these is a 5. One of these 2 is a 5 in column 1. In this double yellow box. There's a lot of double yellow, well, there's at least 2 double yellow boxes. They're very unhelpful is what I'm finding. That's why I'm just noticing them now. 4, 8, 5, 9, 6. We've got digits from 1, 2, 3, 7 that I can't apportion. Oh, in this row, that is 1 or 2. Well, I mean, this is just tidying up this bit of pencil marking. But I was threatening to colour 1s and 2s. I don't know, I'm still not going to do it quite yet. Maybe I'm mad. Okay, this, can it have a 3 in it? Yes. That would make this a 3. Does it have to have a 3 in it? Different question, harder to answer. Don't know. That 3 has made this a 5. Sudoku. Very hard to know what Sudoku to look for in this. So 4 there places 4 here. That doesn't... Yes, there's a 4 in one of those cells. So now 4's got into this yellow area, which doesn't really matter, but it is true. 9, 5, 1, 2, 4, 3. This is 6 or 7, and this is 6, 7 or 8. This is 8 or 9 by everything it can see. So 7 is definitely in one of these cells, and therefore I've figured out this 5, 7 pair. So peculiar. Again. 1, 7, 5, 9, 3. These are from 2, 4, 6, 8. But this one can't be 2 or 4 based on that triple. One of those must be a 2. One of them apparently must be a 4. So that's a 2, 4 pair now. Yes, fair enough. And we've got, yeah, I knew there was a 2, 4 pair here and a 2, 4 pair up there somewhere. 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. These are from 6, 7, 8, 9. That's forming a quadruple here, in which 8 is in one of these 2 cells. and therefore not here. 6, 7, 8, 9 there means this is a 2, 5, 3 triple with 2, 3, 5 triple, but it's being looked at by a 1, 2, 3 triple. So that's a 5, and this is a 2, 3 pair. 4, 6, 8, 9 in the rest of the column. 8 in one of those. That digit must be the same as that, not actually doing anything. 3 in this row. Seems to have to be here. Yes, that's very doable. That is going to mean there's a 3 in this region as well, which is not that interesting in a way. But anyway, it's fulfilled its purpose as a quadruple clue. Now, I still haven't dealt with this, or with this, or with this. 3 of these clues that are just completely unresolved by me. Right, let's look in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are from 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's a 5 in one of these two. That's going to put 5 in one of these two. That's been fulfilled. This is 8 or 9 by Sudoku. Haven't got either a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quad or a 2, 3, 4 triple. But this one can't be 2, 3 or 4. So this is from 5, 6, 7, 9. So now this has to be a 3 in this column because I have now got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quintuple. So that's a 3. That's an 8. I'm sure I'm overcomplicating the solution to this, but never mind. Never mind. I'm enjoying doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these, I don't know, they add up to at least 13. That's not very interesting. But oh, that can't be a 5. That's where 5 is. This is from 6, 7, 8, 9. So in this row, there's a 2, 3, 4 triple. That's going to make this a 9. It's going to say that 4 is in one of these cells and not here. 3 can't be there by Sudoku now, since we got that one. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple, and one of those is a 3. Okay, that doesn't help. This is 5, 6, 7, or 9 again, just like that one. In fact, no, I was wondering if I could place 8 in the box. Not clearly. 8 and 9 are in those. That can't be 9 anymore. That's very clear now. Nor can this one. So 9 is in one of those and not here. Yes, in this row, there's a 6, 7 pair telling me where 9 is that I just hadn't seen. Okay, good. 8 is definitely in one of those two. I've marked it as such. This is 6, 7, 8 or 9. It's not 8, it's 6, 7 or 9. So I've pencil marked every cell now. Still feel like we're moving in. Now, 8 there would need 1, 2, 3 in those cells for it to be a killer. So it's not. It's a quadruple. It needs a 4 in. That's got to be here. Okay, good. That 4 must look along. Yes, it places 4 in box 1. It did something. Now there's a 6, 8 pair making that a 5. Now they can't have a 5 or a 6 in there. A 7, 9 pair. That's a 5, 6 pair. That's the 1, 2 pair in the column. That has to be a 7 in the box. That's doing nothing. Thank you, 7. Now, okay, this cage, or this one, what does it add up to now? Right, it adds up to 18. It's not a killer cage, because that can't be 6 in the other cell. So it's a quadruple, and that's a 2. You see, that is helpful. That's going to do things. Good thing I didn't mark the 2s and 1s, because it would have got unwound at this point. That's not a 2. That is a 2. That's 1. That's 3. We can do these 1 and 2 as well. Any other 1s and 2s? No, that's annoying. Still got this region to determine. Will it self-determine? I don't know. Got a 2-4 pair. Yeah, I'm just looking at other things. 5-4 2. Right, I'm going to have to look at this. It can't have both a 2 and a 3 in anymore because they're in those 3 cells. They can't both get into this. So this is a killer cage now. That's interesting. Okay, if you took out 7 from that group, they'd already add up to 23. If you took out 6, they'd already add up to 24. So they definitely include 6 and 7. That's 13 of our total. The other 2 add up to 10. We can't have 9. So we must have 8. That's a 6, 7, 8 triple, and that's a 2 to make the addition work. And that's now 9. Isn't that extraordinary? Brilliant, brilliant. This is going to finish it, I hope, because, well, I've determined all the cages, so I'm going to be a bit shocked if it doesn't. All the regions, all the clues, what do I mean to call them? I don't know. That's now an 8, so that's a 6. That's 7, 8, 9, 6. I love it when these boxes start getting completed, which is sort of what I mean by self-determination. That is a naked 5 now. 5. So then we can place 7 and 9. That becomes a 6. I've got 7, 8 pairs. 8, yes, 6, 8 are done there. That's a 7, 8, 6, 7, 6. There's a 7 to go in here as well. 8, 3 and 2 and 1 pair left to go as far as I can see. 6 and 5 there. What a clever puzzle, Matt. That really is epic. It's been out there for a couple of months, but that deserves to be seen. Fantastic. Kill or quads. I felt a bit killed, but I'm delighted to have got through it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.